Hello friends, good morning. How are you all? Today is Christmas Eve, 24th December, morning. Welcome everybody to my YouTube channel, Nature at the Very Core of Science. I don't have to go to a job today, so I have a lot of leisure time. And I just picked up the book which I was trying to read to you for a long time but couldn't manage right time. It is about the Death Valley National Park. I myself went to Death Valley National Park when I was in California. It was not only an awesome view I observed, but the history of Death Valley and the ambience itself is so marvelous that I can't but share with you. So let me tell something about this wonderful Death Valley. Probably no other desert region in the United States is so well known as Death Valley. Certainly no other desert regions is so extreme also. The name itself shows how extreme the weather condition and climate there. The reasons for its notoriety are many. More than any other place in the West, Death Valley was the destination of the lonely prospector with his pack burro and his dreams of stinking it rich. Yet very few of these men ever found the wealth they sought. What they did find were many eager listeners who wanted desperately to hear stories of lost wealth, hidden mines, and vanishing ore deposits. The Lost Gun Site, Lost Brefogel, and Death Valley Scottish Secret Gold Mine are all tales of fabulous riches that always seemed just beyond the storyteller's grasp. Even today, there are people who continue to search for lost mineral deposits with the hope that maybe, just maybe, they will find the wealth that eluded so many others. Now, this Death Valley National Park has also been made famous as a land of extremes. Consider the elevation. At 282 feet below sea level, Badwater in Death Valley is the lowest spot in the Western Hemisphere. Fortunately, we just went to that Badwater in Death Valley and we were awestruck. Just across the valley floor from Badwater stand the Panamint Mountains and Telescope Peak. The peak rises 11,049 feet above sea level, giving the distance between Badwater and Telescope Peak the distinction of being the sharpest vertical rise found in any national park in the United States. Now today, the book I have picked up, I told you that it is the Death Valley National Park, and this is very famous, though it's a very thin info book, but it is all you just want to know about Death Valley and being awestruck. So Death Valley is also the dry spot in North America and has the highest average summer temperature of any place on earth, believe that. Perhaps it isn't surprising that large numbers of people come here from all over the world to experience this place for themselves, to observe the vistas, enjoy the dry air, and even to experience the awesome summer heat. But I can tell you that summer heat is just not very easy one to tackle. You will be always feeling thirsty. You should always carry your water supply. Otherwise, you will be in great trouble. Food, hunger, you can tolerate. But without water in Death Valley, that can be dangerous. So inevitably, questions arise. And, the booklet I just picked up also attempts to answer those most frequently asked by visitors to Death Valley National Park. So the author is saying that the best time to visit Death Valley is in October, November, and early December, when the conditions are warm, clear, and calm. But February, March, and April can be delightful if winter rains have been abundant and massive wildflower blooms occur. These months, however, can be very windy. And if you want to know what are the 10 most important sites to visit in the park, the author has already charted those for us. So you cannot see everything in Death Valley National Park, even in one long weekend, because the first-time visitors should always experience the following sites. And we have gone through all these places, and I can tell you, I will try to get all the pictures which I got from Death Valley vacation. But we went to all these places authors have listed. Dante's View. Oh, that spectacular overlook of the entire valley. And then Scottish Castle. That is, oh, it's beautiful. And Devil's Golf Course. And that is to appreciate the difficulty experienced by early pioneers in attempting to cross the valley. And then Artist's Palette. Oh, that's awesome. I have never seen such a glorious colors, rocks colored with different, minerals, to see the beauty where none should be. And Ubehebe crater, to be in awe of the sudden violence of the nature. Then Mesquite flat sand dunes. That is also nature's gentle side. And then Salt Creek. That is very wonderful, and you can just look for puffish to marvel at the tenacity of living creatures, even that very, very harsh weather condition. Then Badwater is there, which stand at the lowest place in the Western Hemisphere and look up at Telescope Peak. Then there is Racetrack, so you can ponder the mysteries of the desert. And then there is Keen Wonder Mine to understand why early pioneers came here and why they left. And then Zabriskie Point to behold a most memorable sunrise. And many people hike there. When we were hiking, we saw many hikers along our path, and we just chit-chatted time to time and was asking about their experience and what are the spots they have covered already or what else yet to cover. But the most popular, the routes by foot, is the hikes down the valley floor, beginning at Zabriskie Point, passing by Manly Beacon, and then walking through the Golden Canyon. You will need to have someone drop you off at the parking lot at Zabriskie Point so that you can leave your car at the entrance to Golden Canyon. That's what we did, and we just we rented a car, and then we had a map and everything, and we were dropped there, the entrance, and then we just hiked downfall almost all the way and taken from. That took us, I think, more than 4 hours. But in between, we just took rest, and we just had some trail food, munching food, and also ample water. Now, since my son was at that time very little, so our time taken than other hikers were much more, appreciably very, very much more, because we had to make many halts. But he was a wonderful, young boy, and I think he just hiked and he didn't stop. In fact, we were feeling tired than him. So for those who like strenuous hikes, the trail from Mahogany Flat Campground, which is 8,100 feet in the Panamint Range, to Telescope Peak at 11,049 feet, will give a good workout. So you can plan on spending a day to get to the peak and back and pack a lunch. Don't forget to enjoy the sight of ancient bristlecone pines along the way. Now, you might wonder that how dry is Death Valley. The average annual precipitation of Furnace Creek near the center of the valley is 1.76 inches only. And Death Valley is thus the driest place in North America. Like, in which month does most rain fall? As we just came to know that February average about 1/3 of an inch, which is more than the average for any other month. And you might also wonder what month averages the least amount of precipitation. That is June. June is the peak of the summer, and there is driest an average of 0.03 of an inch, the rainfall. What is the most precipitation that has ever fallen in Death Valley in a single year? So in 1913 and again in 1983, 4.5 inches of precipitation fell at Furnace Creek Ranch. And this was the greatest amount of precipitation that ever fell in 1 year. Imagine that. Now, so do you feel that the Death Valley is the driest place in the world? There is no other? No, that's not true. Arica, which is a small town in Chile, located in the Atacama Desert, has an average annual precipitation of 0.03 of an inch, and that is the driest place on our planet. So, not Death Valley, but in Chile, the place Arica. And why? The question is, why is Death Valley so dry? But that is very understandable. There is the principal reason for Death Valley's this severe aridity is that it lies in a rain shadow region. That means rain can't reach there. The process works like this way, that so each storm traveling east of the Pacific Ocean must rise as it passes over the mountains. And as a storm climbs to highest altitude, the air mass cools and its capacity to hold moisture decreases, resulting in the condensation of water into droplet. And most of these droplets fell as rain or snow when the storm ascends the western slopes of the ranges. So by the time the storm clouds reach the valley floor, they have been forced to give up nearly all their moisture. So storms traveling east of the Pacific Ocean encounter not just one, but a series of mountain barriers before reaching Death Valley. So the coastal ranges are the first obstacles, followed by the much higher Sierra Nevada. The Argus and Inyo mountains are next in the line, with the Panamint Mountain being the last range over which a storm must pass before reaching Death Valley. In all, there are 4 rain shadow systems that must be confronted by eastward traveling storm. So no wonder Death Valley is the driest place in North America. So this is the way the author has explained, and it is so clean and clear that we can understand that this is the nature's creation of the rain shadow system, and Death Valley suffers from that rain shadow system. Now, what is the hottest temperature? I'm sure that you are very much interested to know that which is ever recorded in Death Valley, and that was in July 10, 1913. The temperature rose to 134 degrees Fahrenheit. So to give you an idea, if it is around 75, 80, we feel very, very warm. So compared to that 134 degrees Fahrenheit, just think about. At the time, that was the hottest official air temperature ever recorded on Earth. So what is the hottest month? That we already talked about, that June, July. But July is the hottest month with an average daily high temperature of 116 degrees Fahrenheit. No other place in the Western Hemisphere has such a high daily maximum temperature. I remember we went when the temperature was supposed to be very good, like in a cooler months, but still we were perspiring and we were feeling like that everything is dried in our body, especially the so much thirst that you feel that your eyes and everything is burning. You can't just look for a long time and you feel like feverish almost, and just dried like a like a leaf tree. So was Death Valley's 134 degrees Fahrenheit the hottest official temperature ever recorded on Earth? No, the hottest official temperature recorded on our planet was 136 degrees Fahrenheit, and that was in Libya, that is Azizia. The average daily maximum temperature in Azizia in July, however, is only 99 degrees Fahrenheit compared with 116 degrees Fahrenheit in Death Valley. I'm sure now you would think that, does it ever get cold in Death Valley? Yes, the winter nights are quite cool and have been known to drop below freezing, other way. And the lowest temperature ever recorded at Furnace Creek Ranch was 15 degrees Fahrenheit. And I can tell you that our limitation for just 55 degree to 75 degree Fahrenheit, that's just cozy one. So in compared to that, 15 degrees Fahrenheit is freezing. Yes. The average daily minimum temperature in January, the coldest month, is 39 degrees Fahrenheit. So winter temperatures are much colder and wetter at higher elevation within Death Valley.